Everybody's all crumbled this morning.
They're good? Okay.
Now you just messed it up
Yeah, I
again.
think couches, they don't really help, do they?
These are, yeah, these
What do
are,
you want?
Well, we won't
So-
take these on the next shoot, that's for sure. Okay.
Well, could you put them in my office?
are we straight in?
It'd be nice for naps.
Great.
And we'll straighten out as we go along.
Okay.
Straight enough?
Yep. And we are rolling.
Kate has a number of accounts. She has a savings account, a checking account, an IRA, a money market fund, and pretty soon she's going to have a 403B, a retirement savings plan at work at the nonprofit she works at. And she's wondering, do I need all these accounts?
Well, Chris, I think she does. At age 25, when you can develop the habit of saving and investing in different areas, it makes a lot of sense. See, whenever you start this whole savings and investment habit, if you can just get it down where you do it regularly, it's so easy to continue the habit. You see, saving and investing is probably only the second hardest thing to do in life. I would say dieting is the first. So if she has now at age 25 a money market checking account, a savings account, and an individual retirement account, she's well along her way of really being successful.
Now, in today's world, if you can have a money market mutual fund, is there any reason to have a savings account?
Oh, yes. A money market mutual fund account is pretty much a checking account. A savings account is money set aside for what I would consider those emergencies. There's an old saying that says, bad things happen to good people. That is to say, if something were to happen to her car where she needs a set of new tires, or her refrigerator where she'd have to replace it, this is where you would go first to make those emergency replacements, your savings account. Next is your money market checking account. A money market checking account allows your idle dollars between paychecks and bill payments and other kinds of items to draw interest during that period of time. The next step up from that, of course, would be an investment account.
Kate has 2 credit cards with approximately $1,800 on each credit card. Is this her priority at this point in her life to get that credit card debt out of her financial picture?
You know, credit cards have become kind of a necessity in today's world. You need it to buy tickets to the game or to reserve a car. So I would encourage her to keep her credit cards. Now, $1,800 may be a manageable balance for her, but frankly, I would recommend that she try and pare that down and actually eliminate that debt if at all possible. Remember, Chris, what she's doing is she's paying interest on the unpaid balance. So if there's no need for her to have that balance and she can afford to pay down on that debt over the next few months, that's just money in her pocket.
With the retirement savings account at work, a 403B, which is essentially the same thing as a 401k, anyone who's working in a private sector company, she's wondering the question that a lot of people have. How do I figure out how much to put into my 403B?
Well, the answer is as much as she could possibly do, because the key thing about a 403B or a 401k is that it is tax deferred. So for instance, if she's making $35,000 a year and she puts $5,000 into this 403B program, guess what? Uncle Sam only thinks she makes $30,000 and she has to pay less income taxes at the end of the year. During that entire period of time that her money is in this tax deferred savings account, the 403B or the 401k, that money is growing tax deferred, which means that she doesn't receive a 1099 on the interest or dividends that she gets off of that money that's on deposit. For that reason, she should put in as much as she can. Now, I use the rule of thumb 10%. I think if she could, pare back her paycheck by a full 10%, devote that directly to her retirement savings plan at work, then that's about, the average around the country.
She has an IRA, an individual retirement account. It's a rollover IRA. She took her 401k from her previous employer, rolled it over into an IRA, which is a smart move, keeps it all tax deferred. She's wondering, though, should she now transform that traditional IRA into a Roth IRA?
Well, the Roth IRA has a lot of benefits, and especially for Kate, who is 25 years old. You see, by transferring her current IRA to a Roth IRA, she becomes responsible for the ordinary income tax associated with that IRA right now. Since that's a small amount of money, it probably will not cost her that much to make that switch. And the federal government allows a kind of like an averaging over the next 4 or 5 years to kind of take the tax bite out. So in her particular case, I would recommend that she strongly consider switching that to a Roth IRA, because what that means is when she takes her money out, it will all be tax-free. You see, the difference between a Roth IRA and a regular IRA is the tax status of the money going into the IRA. Most monies that go into an IRA go in on a pre-tax basis. Money that goes into a Roth IRA goes in as an after-tax contribution. Therefore, when the money comes out, taxes have already been paid on the money. In Kate's particular situation, I would suggest that she look very closely at a Roth IRA. For most people, it doesn't quite work like that. If you're a little older, in the 40s or 50s, then perhaps it would be better to stick with the traditional IRA.
And the odds are she may be in a higher tax bracket when she's older than she is right now, which would make that Roth more valuable.
Absolutely. You know, we never know exactly what our legislators are going to do in terms of taxes. Everyone seems to think that they're going to be in a lower tax bracket when they get older, but we don't know exactly what the legislature is actually going to do in that regard. So the best way to protect against that unknown is to have an individual retirement account.
A financial planner recommended that she close her savings account and just keep her savings in a money market mutual fund because she'll get a higher rate of interest. What do you think of that?
Well, I have a little problem with that. Bad things happen to good people. I generally recommend that people keep a certain amount of money in savings, just kind of like there. You might recall my definition of savings. It's really a deferred spending account, not really a savings account. You know, you need that kind of money so that you're not going to your retirement plan or some other critical goal oriented savings plan for the purpose of a temporary emergency. So I disagree with that particular financial planner. I would recommend that she have a savings plan where she keeps a small amount of money, perhaps as much as a half a month's to a month's money that she would accumulate from her employment in that kind of situation. Then I would recommend that she go on towards the investing or saving and investing mode that we discussed earlier.
So what is personal finance for a young person coming out of college? You're experimenting with different jobs, you're trying to find your career, you're setting up your apartment, you've had the demands of getting a new wardrobe, you may be meeting somebody, you may be getting married. I mean, there's all these things that are happening. And what is personal finance at that stage of your life?
Well, personal finance at that stage of your life should be habit forming. You need to form a habit of saving and investing. For instance, take this lady, Kate, she's 25 years old. If she would just simply put away $50 a month between now and age 65, she would have put away $24,000. A good number just in its own right. But you take that same amount of money and put it into a average growth mutual fund paying, say, around 12%, she'd have $600,000. Now, at age 25, $50 a month is, you know, $12.50 a week. That's one lunch a week, one movie. I mean, it really is not that much money, but she can just keep that habit up. Then she would really have been making a significant difference. Now, I understand that she has a pretty good job. She's moving up in her career. If she just changed that $50 to $100 a month, between now, age 25, and age 65, on a systematically routine basis, each month putting away that $25 a week, that would mean that by age 65, she would have put away $48,000. Okay? That $48,000 put into a mutual fund will be well over $1.2 million. The thing she needs to do now, in terms of financial planning, more than anything else, is develop the habit of saving and investing.
But many young people starting out today have steep debt burdens, student loans. Perhaps they picked up a little credit card debt while they were in college. It's very easy to get a credit card in college. So, do you think that today's young people need to focus a lot on getting rid of their debt, that is savings for them today?
I think young people today need to develop the habit of setting a budget. Things are so fluid in our society today that very seldom do young people take the time to write down their budget and their goals. If that habit can be developed early, then I think that their life planning in terms of financial planning will be a whole lot simpler. You see, the pressures on young people today are tremendous. There's television, there's internet, there's peer pressure, and it's just overwhelming that the decisions that people have to make today in terms of their finances. But we do know this, that there is a financial crisis in terms of credit card debt and overspending and what I call conspicuous consumption, especially among young people. So now that we know that that is a problem, what young people should do is pull into their cadre of friends a financial planner. I advocate seeking out professional advice in terms of one's financial affairs. A lot of people seem to think that they can do it by going to the internet or reading books like my book. But I really think that the personal relationship of a financial counselor is underrated, and I would recommend that each young person, as they're developing their career, bring into their cadre of friends a financial planner.
And how much do you think young people can depend on Social Security when they retire?
It's interesting. Our company did a survey not too long ago among our younger clients, and we discovered that an overwhelming majority of these young people felt like they would see an unidentified flying object before they would see a Social Security check. It's really kind of funny, Chris, and you may know this story, but others may not. That is how Social Security actually came about. You see, there were some wise old men in the 20s and 30s who went to some actuaries who asked the question, what is the lifespan of the average American? And they need to know that so they could determine when Social Security was actually going to be given out. Well, the answer was that the average American would live to about age 62. And probably then the government said, great, we'll hand out Social Security at age 65. Well, what's happened is that medical science has played a dirty trick on these old men, because guess what? With the advent of modern medical science, we're now living longer than they thought we were going to live in the 20s and 30s. The average age of an American these days is in the 70s and early 80s. So people who think or who had thought that they would have enough money to retire at age 65 are now finding themselves at 75 and 80 broke. So when you take someone like Kate, who's 25 years old, she should not depend on any government entitlement program to protect her in her old age. What am I talking about? I'm talking about things like Medicare, Medicaid, just the general welfare programs that the United States is known for. She should have a supplement in terms of her individual retirement account, her savings accounts, and her investment accounts, should they be stocks and bonds, if she wants to move into that arena.
And if Kate wants to learn more about investing and playing around in the market and what risk she's comfortable with, how should she go about doing that?
Well, I firmly believe that Kate should find herself a financial advisor. Financial advisors are available to everyone, and they operate on 3 different levels. One, as a fee base. Secondly, as a commissioned sales kind of approach. And thirdly, then there's a whole estate planning and insurance arena. I certainly recommend that she go to the internet and seek out specific questions and answers. I also would recommend that she go to the library and or bookstores. There's numerous books, including my own, that highlights the basics of saving and investing. There's no excuse for anyone in our country today to not find the answers to their questions about saving and investing. Probably read a column in a national news journal, but I mean, it's just the whole question of saving and investing is really kind of like the subject du jour, and for a young person not to be able to find out that information is almost impossible.
Well, thank you very much.
Glad to be with you, Chris.
It's great.
You know, I think it's going to confuse people, but if you're, you know what it is, a nonprofit organization.
Yeah.
But there are 3 types of these plans. 401k if you work for a private company, 403b if you work for a hospital or nonprofit. Then there's the 457 plan.
Yeah, for the state and local.
For the state and local government operation. I just did an article for Essence Magazine. It's a black women's magazine. And in the article, I commented that if your company has one of these plans, 401k, 403b, 457, anything like that at all, SEP IRA, they're all
Right.
kind of the same thing. What you need to do is put down this magazine, go join the plan, and come back and finish reading the article.
Right.
Because it's like free money. I mean, if you don't do anything else, participate in your company's 401k, and if your company doesn't have one, go in there and threaten to quit until they get one. Because it's the whole business about saving and investing is so hard to do. And if it can just come off your check,
That's right.
it makes the whole difference.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It makes the difference. And so in Kate's situation, my recommendation is that, didn't she just take this job?
Yeah.
Okay. That you know, when she was there signing her contract and getting the health plan and all that other stuff, just do this 403b. If anything,
Yeah.
you're late. You know, you're really, really late about it. So, especially since she's getting married.
That's right.
Are you gonna,
But it's still better to do it than not to do it.
Yeah. I know the whole story, and it's interesting. There's only 2 or 3 major companies that are really involved in that: Travelers, and the Copeland division of Travelers, and the PepsiCo or Retirement Specialists. They changed their name because they got sued. PepsiCo changed their name.
Oh, because,
Some suit or something.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Pepsi?
No, I think it was Bud Wilkinson. It was a suit in,
Huh.
not Bud the son, not the old football player.
Oh,
his son.
the son. Oh, okay.
In Massachusetts, they had a problem. But yeah, but I still think it's probably better to do it than not do it. You see the real shame, because most people
No, that's right.
don't pay attention to their retirement plan. They're used to they're used to the old pension plan, you know, where the company would just kick in after 5 years with some kind of guaranteed
Yep.
pension based on your number of years
Service and
service on it. Well,
final wage
that
and-
doesn't exist anymore.
Nah.
It really doesn't. Matter of fact, I think you probably know this better than me because I haven't focused on it, but wasn't there some big CBS News story not too long ago about somebody thinking they had a pension all these years and it turns from defined benefit to defined contribution, and all of a sudden they didn't
Yeah, what
have
that
as much as
is,
what they were gonna have.
what they're doing is taking the defined benefit plan and turning into a cash balance plan, not into a defined
That's right.
contribution, but as a cash balance plan.
All right.
And if you are been in a company, you're in your early 50s, late 40s, and you've been in the company for, say, 15 years, the value of your pension can drop by about a third.
Should we do some re-asks?
But, so I mean, I think that's an interesting subject. I don't know if it may be worth a whole show to explain the difference in pension plans, what people thought, what is, and why
Yeah.
this transition is going on. Because I had a couple of clients that just were just devastated, you know, because it screwed up their whole financial plan, thinking that they had this pension coming,
Yeah.
and the company just switched on them in midstream.
Jeez. So what do you want me to ask?
Okay, we're gonna do the re-asks, and.
Jim,
we'll
what are you
start
doing?
It's kind of being a wide shot, so, you might wanna straighten your.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to make you look exactly like you looked before.
Yep.
Looking, but I look over
Yeah,
this
always
way.
looking at Chris.
So
a
Chris
little
will
bit.
do a re-ask of a question, then if you could just do a very like
Yeah.
sentence or two for the.
Just to get a
Okay.
sense of the
just to get a
answer.
sense of it.
Because we'll probably cut to the other angle.
Okay, so, how in today's world, money news market.
The different accounts, okay?
Let's see, talking about the financial planner, suggesting that she utilizes the money market and
Right.
higher interest. What is a personal finance for somebody who's just getting out of college? What is that?
Okay.
Okay, and we're rolling.
Kate has an IRA, a checking account, a savings account.
And a coffee grinder.
And a coffee grinder.
Everything expressive as you.
You want your ambience?
No, it's not. It was in the shop before, or not in the shop.
Bill's in Hong Kong today.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Ah, yes, I think so.
We're rolling.
Kate has an individual retirement account, a checking account, a savings account, a money market mutual fund, and a 403B or retirement savings plan at her new job. Does she need all these different accounts?
Well, frankly, I think she does.
Good, let me just do that one more time. Let's stay a little wider this time.
Okay.
And, ready.
Kate has an individual retirement account, a checking account, a savings account, a money market mutual fund account, and a 403B plan, a retirement savings plan at work. And she wonders, does she need all these accounts?
Well, frankly, I think she does. Today's world means,
What does a young person leaving college, going into the workforce, you're exploring new careers, new job opportunities, you're setting up an apartment, you're meeting new people. What does personal financial planning mean for a young person at that stage in their life?
frankly, Chris, I think it's one of the most critical things a young person needs to think about at that stage in their life. If they can develop a habit of saving and investing early, it can make all the difference in the world. Just take Kate, for instance. If she had $25, if she's just developed a habit of putting that away, what a difference that would make by the time she's age 65.
Personal financial planner recommended that she close her savings account and just use the money market mutual fund as her savings account. What do you think of that?
Well, frankly, I would give her a bit different approach to that. I think that she needs a savings account as well as a money market checking account. You see, to me, a savings account is kind of a misnomer. It's really more of a deferred spending account than actually a true savings account in this particular case. You see, sometimes bad things happen to good people. She may need this money to fix her refrigerator or put new tires on her car or whatever. And with that in mind, I think she needs that little kind of of nest egg for that particular purpose. And then the money market checking account is a nice place for her idle money to sit from payday to payday or month to month for the purpose of paying her bills.
Kate has a 403B at her new job. It could be called a 401k, it could be called a SEP IRA. It's a retirement savings plan at work. And she's wondering, as many people do, how much should she put in?
Well, the answer to that question is as much as she possibly can. Because, see, this is probably the best way of saving and investing. The money comes off her gross, and therefore it grows tax deferred. So as much money as she can afford to put into that retirement savings plan, the better she's going to be. To make a long story short, what that does is it reduces the amount of taxable income that she has to report to the federal government when it's time for her to do her income taxes. So if she puts $5,000 in and she makes $35,000 in a salary, then she only has to report $30,000 to the government. This is a benefit for her in more ways than one.
Kate has 2 credit cards, about $1,800 on each credit card. Should she focus on getting rid of that debt?
Well, in today's society, you need a credit card. You need a credit card to, rent a car or book a hotel or even get tickets to a concert. So keeping your credit cards and keeping them, solvent and up to date is extremely important. But unfortunately, when you have a balance on a credit card, you are paying interest on that money. So if she can afford to, as soon as possible, to bring down that credit card debt, that'll simply mean money in her pocket.
A lot of young people entering the workforce are carrying huge debt burdens, student loans. Maybe they took on some credit card debt while they were in college. What impact do you think that's having on young people as they start their work lives, and what does it mean for financial planning?
Well, too many young people have accumulated debt in their early years, and what this has caused is a real crisis here in the United States. This affects their credit report and their credit ratings, and sometimes can even affect their ability to get employment. So I think young people ought to be aware of the responsibility along with the privilege of having credit. I would say that this is probably a national epidemic, if to put it in another sense. And as such, I think people have got to become more responsible about this sort of thing. Now, credit is a good thing. It's not a bad thing, and you can use credit to your advantage because as she grows older, she becomes 30, 35, she gets married, she has kids, she'll want to purchase things that will require more and more credit, such as a car or a house or something else. So credit is not a bad thing, credit is a good thing, but you have to manage it and keep up with it. Now, one way of doing that is by having yourself a budget. If you know what your budget is and you work within your budget and you don't get carried away with conspicuous consumption, it will work very well for her.
Kate asked a question that a lot of young people have. Can I rely on Social Security when I retire?
Well,
Jim, can we do some,
Straight on?
yeah.
Yep.
I-
Okay, how does that look, Rebecca? And then we'll go straight on a couple of shots.
Okay, great.
Okay.
And
Like a lot of young people, Kate wants to know, can she rely on Social Security when she retires?
Chris,
Like a lot of young people, Kate wants to know, can she rely on Social Security when she retires?
that's an interesting question, Chris. Many people forget how Social Security actually came about. In the 20s and 30s, when the government decided there was going to be a social welfare program called Social Security, they got together a bunch of actuaries. Those actuaries were asked, what is the average age of the mortality of an American? Well, they were told that 62 years old was that number. Guess what? The government picked 65 for the year to start handing out Social Security. In other words, they were hoping that fewer Americans would be eligible for it and the pot of money would be large enough. Well, quite frankly, medical science has played a terrible trick on this whole system because now we're living longer and longer and longer. And our mortality age is well into the 70s and early 80s. For that reason, our office did a survey, amongst our younger clients and discovered that well over 80% of them felt like they would see an unidentified flying object before they would see a Social Security check. For that very reason, I think Kate and people like her need to be planning more and more now on their own through individual retirement accounts and savings accounts and investment accounts to prepare for their retirement.
At her new job, Kate has a retirement savings plan.
Lou Brown's a publisher. She tells folksy little stories.
Oh, I know who you mean. Let me ask you these questions, and I'll see if I can remember her name. Okay, ready?
We only need probably like a sentence for the answer.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah. At her new job, Kate has a retirement savings plan, and she's wondering, how much should she contribute to this retirement savings plan?
Well, frankly, I think she should contribute just as much as she can. The money comes off her gross, and it's tax deferred until she takes it out.
She has a traditional individual retirement account, and a financial planner has recommended she transform this into a Roth IRA. What do you think? She has a traditional individual retirement account, and a financial planner has recommended she transform this into a Roth IRA. What do you think?
Well, I think at her age, it's probably a pretty good idea. The problem with transferring from a traditional IRA to a Roth IRA is that you're responsible for the income taxes, and this is something she needs to think about. But in general, I think at her age, it would be to her benefit.
Young people starting out in their work life. Young people starting out in their work life have a lot going on there. Trying to find a new job, new career, setting up a new apartment, getting a wardrobe. What does personal financial planning mean for a young person at that stage in their life?
It's probably the most critical thing that they can do. Develop the habit early on in terms of saving and investing and budgeting. If they can develop that habit early, it'll make the world of difference as they grow older in their career and prepare for retirement.
Kate has 2 credit cards with about $1,800 on each credit card. Should she focus on getting rid of that credit card debt?
Well, credit cards are pretty important in our society today. You need them to rent a car or book a hotel room or even get a concert ticket. You just need a credit card. So I don't recommend that she get rid of her credit cards, but if she can work towards lowering that debt, the overall balance on her credit card, she'll actually be putting money in her own pocket.
Many young people leaving college today have a lot of debt. Student loans, maybe a couple of credit card bills that they took on while they were in college. Does that concern you, young people starting out with so much debt today?
Well, frankly, I think credit card and credit card debt is an epidemic proportion here in the United States. And I think it's probably one of the most critical things young people have to be concerned about. Many employers now look at your credit report before they even consider hiring you. So I think developing credit card responsibility, cutting back on conspicuous consumption are probably priorities that young people should have today.
And the Roth is probably advantageous for Kate because odds are she'll be in a higher tax bracket.
Well, we don't know what her tax bracket is going to be. Our legislators have a way of kind of keeping that a secret. But the benefit of the Roth for her is that she is putting in after-tax dollars so that when she takes the money out, there will be no taxes required.
She's an IRA, rolling over the IRA, do not come in.
Sure.
And Kate wants to learn more about investing,
Where should she go?
where she should go, and then
Okay.
I want to stop charging you by the hour and charge you by the question.
And then again, we just need like.
But it's the same question. so-
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've done these, so just a sentence is fine.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No, glad to do it. I really am.
Should Kate take her traditional individual retirement account, her IRA, and transform it into a Roth IRA?
Well, in Kate's particular situation, I think so, because of her age. If she was a little older, I might have a different opinion.
What is personal financial planning for a young person just starting out in the work world?
Actually, I think it's probably the most important thing that a young person can take on as a task. Developing savings and financial habits at an early age will be tremendously rewarding as the years go on.
How should Kate or any young person learn more about finance?
Well, I think that the wealth of breadth of information is out there today, whether it's the internet, the library, bookstores, public radio, television, this program. I mean, you can find out about savings and investing now much easier than ever before. But I still recommend that each and every person develop a personal financial planner, a person, an advisor within their own realm of friends and associates and professionals as a key element in developing knowledge of savings and investing. Chris, people have doctors, people have lawyers, people ought to have financial advisors.
Good.
And then can you just do the thank you and then that will be it, just the close. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Just a second.
You want us to shake hands or something?
I think so.
If that's what you would do.
Yeah, that's what I would do. So, well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure as always.
Chris, thanks for having me on the program.
Just roll here and.
Well, thank you very much. As always, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate being on your program.
Do it one more time. And after you do that, can you just stop?
Okay, I mean, you know, at least it should be a bar.
Have you been to the Real Black Dog?
No, where is it?
It's on Martha's Vineyard. Actually, she's infringing upon some kind of copyright using it.
Okay.
And we're rolling.
Well, thank you very much. As always, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate being on your program.
So you ever been to this place before?
Well, I went to a place just like it, or at least it had the same name, called the Black Dog on Martha's Vineyard. They said they were the one and only and original Black Dog restaurant.
Well, there's one and only original in every state, probably.
I think so.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no. okay.
I mean,
Enough jokes. And action.
well, thank you for this. Hey,
Hi, Chris. How you doing?
Good to see you.
Can I get an
Like
orange
it.
juice, please? Thank you.
I've already got it, so let's head on over here.
Good.
Glad
How's
you
the
could
show
make it.
doing?
Well, I'm glad you came. You ready to talk about a little personal finance?
Yes, I understand we were going to work with Kate today.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Go in here, but yeah, let's do it right there. There aren't any. We'll just wing it. And I'm going to be backing up with you, so be prepared. And ready.
Well, thank you for this.
Hey, Chris.
Good to see you.
Good seeing you.
Can I get you anything?
Yeah, how about an orange juice, okay? Thank you.
I already got it.
All right.
So, shall we head over here and?
Sure. We're going to be talking about Kate today?
About Kate, yes.
Okay, great. Kate's in good shape, I think.
Okay.
You actually took it time closer, maybe I'll just put it closer. Great, thanks very much.
Got it?
Well, thank you very much.
No, I really
That was
appreciate
great.
it. No, I think this has worked out very well. So I'm glad we got in touch and
Yeah.
glad we're keeping this going. Appreciate it.
When's this going to be on?
Oh, Jesus.
This one probably February.
Oh,
Because
so that's a
we
ways
start,
away.
it starts again January, we're doing the shows, it's 26 episodes, it starts January 20th, I think it
Oh, I
is,
see.
or 21st. And so this one probably run the way they're going about in the beginning of February.
You're bringing like money experts from all over?
Yeah.
You've seen the show on TV, haven't you?
No,
groundskeepers, and so I got on there for free. Gorgeous course.
Oh, that's nice.
Very long holes.
You ever play at Wingfoot or anything like that? Where
No.
they had the Open?
No.
I went there. Yeah, I went to the Open when it was there, and I think this was 10 years ago. I think it was there, but it was fun following
Yeah.
the players around.
They make it look so easy.
Oh, don't they? Nice one.
I don't know about you, but I play in the number of balls I lose instead of the number of times.